Yeah, we're on Steph's box. Yay! Hell yeah. Thanks, Steve. Got Steve Marcinowski in the house.
What's up?
Yeah. He's a stand-up comedian, rock and roll drummer,
Oh, man.
and not a sex offender.
I'm holding that one till I die.
Right, not.
Not
I did specify.
not even allegations out there.
Right. Nothing more than an awkward glance across the bar sometimes.
I'm known for that.
Yeah.
I'll hold those stares.
Love that uncomfortable eye contact, right?
We can look at ourselves.
Yeah. That's not creepy. No, what is it? I mean, I assume that everybody like masturbates to videos of themselves like having sex.
Yeah.
That's normal, right?
Well, you got to make them first.
You got to make them first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the fun. Yeah, weren't you saying that you only watch porn now with guys that have similar looking dicks as yours?
Yeah, I love. I've been loving looking up dicks. I picture everyone. I want to know what everyone looks like without their clothes off. I do that to everyone.
Really?
Yeah, you don't do that?
Well, when I first had nerves, like on stage, I'd imagine that everyone in the audience had cancer, but then my erections were getting in the way, so then I started imagining that they were naked.
That's good. But
Shout out to Zach for writing that awesome joke. You should tell it, motherfucker. He's chicken shit. He
Bert?
thinks that. No, my buddy, I call him Laser. He's a comedian friend in New York.
yeah,
He's one of my writing partners, so, I workshop with him a lot.
if you have cancer, I'd like to see you naked too. You got some,
Especially if you have
Yeah.
cancer.
yeah, great diet.
Why is that not a Pornhub category already? Like bald chicks are sexy.
Bald, sickly.
Well, I mean, if you look at supermodels, I mean, wafy thin, it's considered more attractive because it's rare
Yeah.
in this day and
Like
age.
a cancer coke body.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I've always gone for the heroin chic or yeah, I mean, if you've never had a toothless blowjob, you don't know what you're missing.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never have. Yeah, no. Yeah, I like to look up. I don't go deep in the searches, honestly. I'm like a front page guy. When I'm there, I know what. I just need to see a dick.
Yeah.
That's
That's number one on the list.
that's it.
And number two, there is no number two.
That's it. Yeah, there's a dick involved. I'm in.
There you go. See, my tastes are so particular. Like I have to go levels and levels through filters and searches to get it just right.
Right?
Yep.
You're a subscriber to some things. That's the beauty of it. Now you can.
Wait, you pay for porn?
No.
Oh,
No.
I think I've got an account here or there, but yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. What do
Yeah.
you? How deep are we going? Like, how specific?
Very specific.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. Okay.
Yeah. Switching gears. What makes you qualified to be a stand-up comedy instructor?
Oh, I struggle with this.
What makes you think you're better than all us?
I've had a conversation. Yeah, for a while I thought I had imposter syndrome. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
What qualifications do I have to be doing this? And
Right.
it's just, I guess, the experience I have. I mean, I've been doing comedy for over 10 years, probably 12 years, in club settings, in rooms that I've set up myself. So, I've seen a lot and I know what works. So basically my instructions are just become getting you comfortable on stage.
Right.
And coaching you through some stuff,
And just sit there and heckle the entire time, like
Yeah. I
put the newbies up there.
I got to
and throw 'em
berate
in
you
there.
a little bit.
Right.
I tell him that's one of the things I tell you. You got to have for comedy thick skin and a short memory. Because you're gonna bomb, and if you dwell on it, it's not gonna be good for you. You got to forget about that.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think bombing is hilarious.
I think you learn more from bombing.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And I'll be honest, I have not bombed a whole lot. Like open mic, sure. Like everybody eats shit because you're trying something out new. But like when I've been booked on shows, like I haven't had a show where it's just dead through the whole thing and I can't get them on my side at all. I haven't had that except for the show that I did on the Apollo, and I got booed off stage like 2 jokes in.
Oh, wow.
And in front of like a packed house.
Boos were loud, huh?
Oh yeah, like it cut. Well, it was funny because I mean, you know how live at the Apollo is. You know, like just the history of it. You know, they love to boo. I mean, Chappelle got booed off. You know, there, and so it was kind of like, oh, I'm honoring the tradition, but it was fucked up because
still hurt.
Yeah, like I wasn't even done with the setup of my first joke before like I was like, yeah, so I love Japanese culture, you know, bukkake, and then I hear in the back of the room, boo, and I'm like, oh wow.
I did set you up with that with the bukkake.
Yeah, right.
This scares me to death. I don't know if I'd. I guess I'd try it out of the tradition of the Apollo and its prestige, but. Yeah, it's good. I'm definitely gonna get booed off there.
Yeah. And yeah, it was surreal. Like I just couldn't help but laugh about it because like it was like, wow, they hated my comedy that much. Like it was.
They hated you.
Yeah, no, that's what it was.
Yeah,
that's totally what it was. And I hate to say, you know, like, but when you're like the only light-skinned person at a black show, a talent show, right? Like the girl before me, like she's a pretty young choir singer with the voice of an angel, and the lady before her had a grisly like burn scar on her face and read a deep heartfelt poem about, you know, abuse and things, and like had the audience crying, and then like I get up there and I'm like, yeah, so what about my dick? You know?
You're like cocky.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I would be like, hey, take me off the list, man.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a hard act to follow.
But the thing is, talk about learning experience. I posted it on my YouTube channel, which go check it out if you're watching. Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, clickbait title. I mean, you know, autistic trans comedian booed off stage at the Apollo. You know, it's like, oh, it wasn't clickbaity because that's exactly what happened. So, but,
we have on Baboom's YouTube, we use clickbait titles like that. Like one of our, we have no views, but the one that has the most is it's called Standing Nude Massage.
Standing Nude Massage.
People keep looking at it, but it's us doing improv at my parents' backyard.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, it's like bare naked ladies and that local band Free Drinks. You know, so,
yeah, I was into a band and they were calling themselves Free Pizza. And I was like, guys, and they're like, no, everyone was going to come in and they see free pizza.
Right. Yeah, but if you don't buy pizza every show,
Yeah.
you're going to have some pissed off people to contend with.
Hungry people wanted some free pizza.
Oh, hungry people are the worst. Like, I that's how I know I would never survive on like, was it Naked and Afraid or a show like that? Because I can't, like, if I get hungry, once I hit that hangry point, I'm just a completely different person.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I go from, calm and collected to cannibalism like that. Just not even 24 hours after the apocalypse, I'm eating everybody around me. Mm-hmm.
Taking bites, not even cooking it.
Yeah.
Just real life zombie.
Yeah, totally. I mean, my stomach takes the reins, like it's...
Yeah, I can handle Taco Bell. I'll handle some raw human meat.
Oh, well, no, you got to draw the line somewhere. Taco Bell.
Grade D meat. I remember when I was a kid, we saw a box on the counter. It said grade D, and we're like, let me get 2 chalupas, please.
Right?
Saw what we're putting in our
Grade D, like, wow.
I think
you got to study more, Taco Bell. You got to get
it's
those
passing.
grades up.
It still passed.
Yeah.
It just got by.
Thanks, FDA. What is it? I wanted to bring this up. I remember you and I did a show what is it, December, and I came in with a new look, and when you went up on the mic, you said, Steph, I just realized I want to have sex with the wig, and so I had a little something for you.
Oh, man, look at that.
Yeah, so,
This is a nice one, too.
yeah. Put up or shut up for the cameras.
Fuck the wig, come on.
Yeah, that was a fun show.
I mean, that's a nice looking wig, though.
Oh, yeah.
You can't blame me.
I can't. I have sex with the wig all the time.
I've been roasting some people lately.
I noticed, yeah, was it Tuesday night at the Cheesecake Factory, or whatever, cheesesteak.
Oh, we're getting some likes and subscribers, huh?
Yeah. Shit, I'm such a bitch. I was giving Mark a hard time about making noise, and I forgot to turn my ringer off. So it's like bling, bling, bling. But yeah, you were making the rounds, but me and Mark had just shown up, and I was waiting on the food, and I kept peeking up over the bar to see if he'd see me and take a stab.
Roast me.
Yeah.
It is a weird thing that we kind of like it. Well, because it is. It's you roast people you like and you love, right?
Yeah.
It's a mark of respect, I guess.
Yeah. It's terms of endearment, you fucking faggot. Yeah, no, if I don't like somebody, I just won't talk to them, or I will explicitly say, okay, you're a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. I'm out.
That's the worst roast. Yeah.
And then stabby a bit.
A little stab, a little tase.
Mm-hmm. I got Pinky with me too.
You got Pinky?
Yeah. You want to tell the story, or should I tell the story?
Man. We can tell it together.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm hosting the open mic at Bottega.
Yeah.
And
this is Tuesday nights, right?
Yeah. And there's this kind of transient-looking fella hanging out at the bar. Kind of threw me for a loop because he didn't look like your typical wine drinker, right?
He was drinking wine?
Yeah, he was drinking wine.
Yeah.
But looked like a total street person.
He was a street dog.
I was trying out crowd work for the first time, because I don't intentionally engage with the audience most of the time. I did this bit where it kind of questioned his sexual orientation.
Yeah, you were roasting him.
Yeah, kind of, which you're not supposed to do with strangers, I found out.
Yeah, not street dogs. No.
Right, yeah. But, autism, reading the room, it's something I'd noticed after the fact. Maybe not such a good idea, but, and after that, he started getting more aggressive to the performers, and then.
Had I gone up yet?
Nah, I don't know.
No, I don't think I did.
No,
I hadn't gone up. I was in the back of the room. I knew there was something happening because he kept looking at me, and I that chemical energy or reaction in the brain was like, oh, something's, because now I know he's upset and he's looking at me, and I literally there was a moment I looked at Zach and I was like, I don't know, I think there's something up with this guy. I was like, I might have to fight this guy. I'd already had put it out there because I was in a weird headspace too. Literally the day before, I had just broken up with my fiance.
Oh shit!
So I was out there just fucking in a weird headspace.
Right.
And I see this guy staring at me, and I'm like, oh no. And I had never been in a fight before.
Right.
I'm not an angry guy. I'm not a fighter.
So in 30 some odd years, never a little playground fisticuffs?
I mean, I've had one situation where I tussled with my best friend, and it basically was a headlock. I was just in a headlock, no punches to the face. I never took one to the face.
Right.
I never punched him in the face.
Yeah.
There was another moment where I was in a band, and we played this show, and we're loading up our vehicles, and this white pickup truck or SUV keeps driving around the building, and it's full of like 5 kids. And they keep driving around. They're staring at us slower and slower. And again, the drummer looks at me and he's like, I think we might have to fight these dudes.
I just heard something the other day. Someone said nothing ever nothing good ever comes from a car full of dudes.
Yeah.
Like you see a car full
Yeah.
of dudes, they're not out to like feed the homeless and shit. You
Yeah.
know?
I don't, they so that one they stop and they come around the building, and there's five of them and there's five of us, and literally like I don't know who they were to this day. Like we literally like standing line in a line, like an army, like
Yeah.
front line army.
Right.
That, like we each had chose someone. I guess I'm fighting this guy.
Right.
And there was this weird, like there was a moment like it was super tense, and someone throws a sucker punch at the drummer.
I thought you were gonna say you all broke into a dance routine.
Right. He throws a punch at the drummer. He sucker punches him, and like there was a like oh. And then we all just started fighting. But the kid threw they were drunk. He like threw like a wild haymaker. Like it was literally like slow motion. I was like, come on, dude. And then I grabbed his arm, and I never took a karate or anything in my life, but I did like a perfect hip throw, like over. I literally like threw this kid over my shoulder, and he was down there, and I was like, yeah. And then we won our respective fights, and like we're like, fuck yeah, we did it. These guys all left.
Yeah. And you've been sweeping the leg ever since.
That's it. I joined Cobra Kai. Started teaching. I never started teaching martial arts.
Yeah. You teaching bullshido.
Yeah, a little Aikido.
Yeah. I teach Dick Dragon Kung Fu.
Okay, that was good.
When an attacker comes out, you just whip it out, and they're gonna take pause because they're gonna be both intimidated and slightly aroused.
Oh, that's the best defense.
Yeah, like you when you get those confusing boners, that's that'll give an attacker pause.
Yeah.
If it gets real hairy, you can silence of the lambs move. That's basically like, and you just blind them.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'll take that class.
Right.
Yeah. So that was my fights. That's my fight experience.
Right.
And now this guy, he turns around. He's looking at me, and then he stands up, and he starts. No. I'm sorry.
You were sitting at the end of the bar. I remember because I was on the microphone while this was all going down. Like I was like, I'm supposed to bring up the next performer. Okay, hold on. Like
he walks outside, and he walked by me, and that's when he like gave me this look. That's when I was like, Zach, I don't know what's up with this guy. I'm like, I think this guy's gonna try and fight me.
Yeah.
And he's outside, and he's stepped outside, and he's yelling into the venue.
Yeah.
He's shouting, "You called me a faggot? You called me a faggot, motherfucker? I'll show you a faggot." And you were telling me to be quiet, and then I turned and looked, and I realized he's shouting it at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, it's happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, you're talking to me?
Yeah. You turned into Robert De Niro like right then and there, just like you'd been rehearsing in the mirror, like. You
like,
talking to me?
I paid this guy. Yeah, like we're gonna do a fight scene tonight. Okay,
Right.
let's go over our lines. You talking to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I guess sounded aggressive, but I literally was confused. I was like, "Why? I didn't say those things to you."
Yeah.
But I didn't say that wasn't me, bud, because I didn't want that's gonna sound even worse. So I was like,
Right.
"Oh,
Yeah.
you think I said that?" No.
Yeah. Like, who are you talking to?
Yeah. So then he comes in and he gets right up to me as I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You called me a motherfucking faggot?" And gets in my face while I'm sitting down, and I realize like, well, I can't be sitting down and getting punched.
Right.
It's like I got to stand up, which another aggressive move, like. Because the universe at this time now I'm like catching it. I'm like, oh, the universe wants me to fight this guy.
Right. You've got to learn something about your manhood.
I was like, it's gonna happen today. It's gonna happen today.
And
so
you're not a small guy. Like you're not somebody to generally like. You're not somebody that someone looks for to get into a fight with. Just
Right.
Because you're.
I'm not a small guy and I'm not a big guy. So like I've never had to really fight. Like, people aren't picking fights with me. I never went to go prove something.
I wouldn't hit a guy with glasses.
Right? That's why I wear them. It's disarming.
Right. Your vision's perfectly fine.
It's just glass.
Yeah. So I'm watching all of this transpire on the mic, and I don't know what the fuck to do, and everybody's kind of looking at each other like, what do we do? What do we do? And the bartender, Amanda's like, like, you need to get out of here. And he's like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah.
And so she's like on the phone, and I'm like,
I turn my Batman voice on.
yeah.
I go, you need to get your card and get out of here.
Yeah. And
He didn't like that.
No, he
doubled
didn't.
down.
And
He didn't listen.
yeah, and
He didn't believe me.
yeah, and I see you square off with this guy.
Well, he
'Cause
pushed me
he
first.
Showed you.
He
Yeah,
shoved me,
shoved
he
you.
shoved me
Yeah.
real hard after I told him to
Yeah.
leave. I was like, oh, okay. He called my bluff.
He just shoved you the one time,
Yeah, he shoved me one
and
time.
you fell through the table.
Whoa! I moved the table back. I don't even think I hit the ground.
Something broke.
I caught myself. Yeah, he pushed me down. It was like a vase on the table or something, and that fell off. I didn't fall to the ground. I know that, and I turned around, and I was like, oh, now it's happening. That's when he was still standing there. That's when I squared up.
And I have to say this because I think it's hilarious. Because it totally displays your lack of fighting experience.
Yeah.
You square off like the mascot for Notre
I was a fighting
Dame.
Irish. I turned into fighting Irish.
Just like,
I was an old 30s boxer. Like,
Yeah.
let's go, baby.
yeah.
I was ready. I was like, and I was looking at his chin. I was like, just hit him right there, Steve. Like, my brain was
I'll
fight or flight.
loyalize you.
I really wanted to do it, but like I was doing all these calculations in my mind, like, oh, what if I really hurt him? This was the funniest one I thought. Was like, what if I really hurt this guy? I've never been in a fight, never punched anyone, but I'm like, I could really hurt this guy.
Well, I was just watching a documentary recently on one-hit punches that, like it's kills a lot of people actually because it's not necessarily the punch, but it's the combination of the punch jostling your shit around first and then hitting the
you can hit
ground.
something.
It's like a double whammy, and you don't know something's wrong necessarily, that you're concussed, and then you go to sleep and boom,
That's it. Yeah,
that's what happened to
And
Bob Saget.
I saw like I was doing the like first of all, yeah, besides Zach Burke, it was all women in the bar, and all of them were taking my stand-up class.
Yeah.
And so I like saw that too. Like I saw that I think someone were still behind him, and I was like, I don't want to hit him into these women too. Like,
Right.
And then like he laughed because he laughed at me because like he made this smirk, and I was like, fuck you. And I went to hit him, but I grabbed his shirt and I shoved him outside instead. I did that move.
So while all that was taking place, Amanda's like, Steph, do you have your taser? And which I always keep it with me.
Next to your wig.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Because I got outside and that's when I was like, okay, now
yeah, pinky. Well, ink leaked all over, but
and that was the sound because once I was outside, I squared up with him again, and then that you came out with a blah blah.
yeah, and this was the worst part of the whole thing. Like, never mind what happened to you in your respect, but he looks at me and he's like, "Whoa, don't tase me, bro."
Yeah, he turned into that
Bro,
guy.
fuck you, dude. Like, you know how much like scaffolding and spackle and miracles of science it takes for me to be this lovely woman before you? Like, I was like, just walk, get the fuck out of here now.
Let me grab my bag, and he grabs his big bag. Like, oh, that's his whole life.
Well, no, that was
bag.
his house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was that bag turns into a tent. It's also a sleeping cot in there. The worst part too, actually, I don't know. I think it was when the police showed up.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I wanted to file a report.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's that report going to say? This homeless guy pushed me and I didn't do anything about it? Nah, I'm fine.
Gonna put that one on the books.
Yeah, let's not put that on the books. The cop looked at me, he's like, you didn't do anything, huh? And I was like, no. He's like, you did the right thing. I was like, did I, buddy? Did I? All the girls were like, that was so brave.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I feel like I did the wrong thing, but in the long run, yeah, it was the right thing.
Yeah.
It's harder to say that I didn't fight the guy because all the other consequences could have been worse. That I ran through my brain, like, what if I hit him? What if and all of a sudden I hit him? I realize I can't hit. I hurt my wrist, and now then he punches me real hard, breaks my glasses. Now I'm really embarrassed in front of everyone.
Well, I don't know. I used to like fighting a lot when I was younger, and I did go to martial arts for a number of years. And I kind of had to learn to fight being a feminine weirdo in the deep South.
Right.
It's like, but I'm a complete pacifist now and have been for a long time, and because there's no fucking point in just escalating something. I mean, it's the 21st century.
Yeah.
like
I always thought it was. I mean, I used humor to deflect a lot, but yeah, I always thought it was stronger. Yeah, to like say that. It's like saying I don't have any tattoos. I've never been in a fight. Like these things, they're marks of people, but I also I don't have anything that I stand for, I guess.
Hey, I don't have any tattoos either.
Yeah.
But, I am thinking of getting a tramp stamp of a QR code though.
What is it? What is it going to be the code of?
Well, I don't know. Like you can change it whenever you want.
Can. I thought, okay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it could be useful things, like, I mean, since I'm already, when I'm having sex, like there's already a camera pointed there, so it might as well be useful information, like maybe like,
Link to your
make
YouTube.
restaurant reservations for afterwards, or, nearest available Uber, or, maybe you can even pop up a picture of my fucking face.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I can have that. And
Yeah, they can look at me in the face while they fuck me, like I'm a human being with
That's
dignity and
nice.
self-respect.
Smart.
Yeah,
I'll get a QR code.
yeah, that's a tattoo that you can always change. Yeah, no tattoos.
So you haven't. When was the last fight you were in? How long you been a pacifist?
A while. I don't remember the exact. I think so the entire time, like I lived in LA for almost 18 years, and in that entire time I got into 2 fist fights that were 10 years apart, and both of them were with the same person.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you know him?
Yeah, each time we lived together, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not nice, but
Yeah. Fuck you, Todd.
That's domestic. That's
Yeah.
domestic.
Yeah. Well, he had a crush on me that was unrequited, and we were both alcoholics, and we worked together, and we were friends and
Gasoline.
frenemies. Oh yeah. No, he was a self-admitted sociopath, so I attract a type. Yay. So shit, like over 10 years in comedy.
Yeah, stand up and improv. I've been doing it.
Let's see. What's a tip you would give for like a new improv, somebody that's interested in it and hasn't really done it?
For improv, listen.
Oh, maybe get a little up on the mic.
All right. For improv, I would say like, you have to listen to your scene partner and take a filter off. Don't be. They say don't think, but
Right.
Instead of saying don't think, if you're listening, you're not thinking. If you're actually listening, not thinking about
What you're gonna say
what am I
next.
going to say next. Yeah, that's especially for a lot of stand-ups who try to go into improv. They're like looking to make a joke.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that advice.
Yeah, most of the time you can't even like socialize with comics. I mean, you can, and it's lovely, and it's one of the most fun things about being in comedy. But yeah, like sincerity amongst comics, like because everybody's trying to get the next punch in as quickly as possible, so you can hear the gears turning with everybody in the comedy circle.
Yeah, and you're trained to want to get a laugh, so. Like, and that goes to, I mean, like the golden improv rule, is like yes and.
Yeah.
But what that really means is accepting what your partner just said. Like when you're starting a scene, if they're like, hey, Mom, I really don't want to go to school today. You're like, I'm not your mom.
Yeah.
You're going to get an audience laugh, but then you now have just ruined the whole thing. Yeah.
So the golden rule, yes and. I wonder what would happen if you took that improv rule into the bedroom.
Oh.
It's just yes and to everything.
Better put a tarp down.
Right? Yeah, or sign consent forms beforehand.
Do you agree to yes and?
Yeah.
Yes and.
And, yeah. So I told you my traumatic, not so traumatic, getting booed off stage. What's one of your like worst or like jarring stage experiences like that?
So the first paid gig was, it still sits with me a little bit.
Your first one.
Yeah, well, because so the first time I ever did stand up was at an open mic, and there was like this buzz going around that like they're like, there's a booker in the area looking, right. He's booking a show
shit.
right now. And I was like, I don't care. I'm been doing this 5 minutes into
Yeah.
into the mirror. You know, my parents were there. They just happened to be in town.
Right.
So I made fun of them. I did really well.
Yeah.
And the booker, of course, comes to me and he's like, hey man, you were great. I want you to be on my show. I was like, buddy, that was my first time ever.
Yeah.
And he's like, and everyone's like, I was like, that doesn't happen, right? You know,
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm making the story up.
Yeah.
He booked me on the show. He's like, it's like in a month.
Yeah.
And he's like, and I need you to do 10 minutes. And I was like, guy,
Yeah.
first time, I only did 5 minutes. He's like, you'll be fine. I was like, cool. The gig was in Southport. It was outside, and it was during the day.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm so fresh that I was like, I didn't even realize that these are like the three.
That's rough even if you know what you're doing.
Exactly. And I had all these like family jokes that like, you know, one was about my niece, you know, and it was just because I was living with my brother and I was like, I wiped her ass, you know, like, so I was like making a joke about that. And like, my sister was in the audience and she's like, maybe don't say ass.
Thanks for the notes,
Yeah.
Jess.
But I was opening for Timmy Sherrill that show.
Oh, no shit.
And yeah, I just proceeded to just do a very, very bland 10 minutes to just like blank staring faces of older people in the middle of the day outside
Oh, wow.
staring at me. They didn't boo me, but yeah, it was a long silent 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I got off and they were like, hey, good job. And I was like, what?
Really? Well,
No.
thanks for letting me know while I was up there dying.
Yeah. That one, it was funny, because what an opportunity, but I did not
Do you
execute.
remember who the booker was? Are they still someone in the scene now, or?
No, I can't recall his name right now, but he booked for a little bit. He would occasionally do some stand-up, but I think he went on to do other things. It wasn't as big of a scene as it is now, so it wasn't like something he could lucratively
Right.
be doing.
Yeah. From what I've heard, like the pandemic really surprisingly made the scene blossom. Like, well, Dead Crow being closed and the pandemic, like, yeah, because I mean, I started the first week of 2020, and so like, and then I did like 8 mics until the shutdown, which I got booked for my first showcase that was supposed to be the day after the shutdown. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, my first gig, and then it's like, boom, shut down. But then everybody was like, well, we can go back outside now because, you know, we're in North Carolina. Nobody gives a shit if you die and or get sick, you know, fuck you, I'm an American, you know. But it was like, well, where do we do comedy? So
Yeah.
everybody's like scrambling to put their own shows together.
It was like a gold rush.
Yeah.
You know, and once you could figure out you can't. That's the thing about the scenes, like especially ours too. Like when you have hungry comics and like they have the drive to do it, like as soon as you got the opportunity, and then the people who were locked up for a goddamn year are now coming out and they want to give their hand at it. And
Right.
so it did create a whole new kind of like class.
Yeah.
We'll call them class of
Right.
stand-ups that are now coming out. So yeah, it's interesting to see some of these guys, and it was funny to me because I was out of it for a while, like before the pandemic even hit. I kind of just stopped doing stand-up. Did
you deduct that time from your practicing Zoom?
I did. I did deduct that time. But yeah, I probably had been stepping away from doing it.
Okay.
You got to get that one?
Yeah. No, I'm gonna turn it off because. Sorry.
Yeah. But no, I basically stepped away from doing a lot of it. It was like a slow decline of like, I stopped doing it. I mean, I was doing it goddamn 6 nights a week. You know, I was hosting 3 or 4 different shows. And then I started committing more to other priorities. I thought
you hosted Barzar before I did.
I hosted Barzar on Mondays. I was
How long did you do that room for?
I think I did Barzar. It was the Gypsy then.
Yeah.
I think I did that 4 years maybe.
Holy shit.
Yeah, we tried so many different things. Like with the music, I would do prompt nights. You know, I'd have and it was such. It's interesting to see that it's still kind of the same way. Like there's ebbs and flows of the audience and comedians. Like you have a couple good shows, and all of a sudden people start hearing about it, and then there was nights where I had to be there till fucking 2 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's actually where Six Bear Steve came from.
Oh, I think I've heard somebody call you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got, because they, in lieu of money, they would just give me the 6 beers, and I made it a goal. I was like, well, I'm going to drink all 6 of them.
Yeah. No, I was hammered pretty much every night that I was hosting there, which,
They're like, yeah, we'll give you up to 6 beers. And I was like, okay.
It's funny. As soon as I quit drinking, they asked me to stop hosting.
Yeah.
It's like, uh-oh, she's sober enough to see what's going on here.
Get her out of it.
But yeah, so back to your falling out of the scene.
Yeah, like I said, I had more commitments to my other job. I was in a relationship that I was
job being a daytime hooker.
Yeah, it was really going well at this time. Yeah. So a lot of clients wanted more and more of my time at night. I was doing the husband experience.
Oh, there you go.
So I just kind of stopped doing it. Because it was getting to the point where I was, well, mostly, all right, truth off the chest, it was like I was causing problems in my relationship. Like I felt like every time I would do a show, she came to all my shows,
right.
Which was, so even like open mics, it was like, because she didn't want to stay at the house by herself either.
Right.
But then I'd go to shows and I'd all of a sudden now I have a $60 tab because I'm paying for her drinks, and now I'm not even making money. It's not worth it for me. And then we would get into a goddamn fight. So I was like, okay, you know what? I like you more than this, and I'd rather commit to you.
Right.
So I stopped doing a little bit of stand-up, and my job, I was working full time, and I was like, the hours with that, it just worked out for me where I was like, I'm going to grow up. Let's be for real. If I wanted to do this, I would have moved by now. I would have done something else. I would have really done it. So I was like, let's focus on being an adult. Start my life for real. And then, but then I was approached to do the stand-up class, and I was like, maybe I can dabble again. I'm not really doing stand-up, but I'll do this class.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, I love this.
Yeah.
I forgot how good I was and how good I can be, and I'm feeling strong again. Like I finally feel like I'm back to where I used to be.
Right.
Stand up and writing wise.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's funny. Like, I haven't been doing stand up very long, but I've been doing, music semi-professionally for 28 years, and and I've always said I'm 40 years old now, and so I've, as you get to a certain age where all your friends start getting married and having kids, and I start seeing musicians dropping off left and right, like, no, I just, I got to give it up. I'm quitting music. I'm retiring.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, sure you are. Yeah, that's if you're a musician, if you're creative of any type, that urge is not going to go away no matter what.
Yeah.
You might be able to shove it down for a while and pretend that it wasn't so meaningful, but yeah, like you said, as soon as you get a taste of it again, it's like, oh shit, what was I thinking?
Yeah. I was an idiot. Yeah. I have been missing out. Yeah. And then now the problem is now I have a fear of missing out on a lot of things. So now, yeah. So now I go out and I'm like, oh, where's everyone going? Oh no, I'll be out till 3 a.m. again. Sure. Yeah. I have no accountability now with myself. So I can do whatever.
That's fun. Yeah, I haven't had any accountability for a while. I don't even have a regular day job, so.
Yeah. Right. It's interesting to see what you allow yourself to get away with.
Yeah.
Good for you for quitting drinking, though.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Nothing like a little fear of death to set you on the right path. It's like, if it wasn't for liver damage, I would have kept going because, I was pretty convinced that, I couldn't be social without it.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I started drinking when I was like 15. Before that, I could barely talk to anybody unless I was around them for a while and, and then started drinking, couldn't shut me the fuck up.
Yeah. But you got over that? Talking, well,
yeah.
recently now. But.
Yeah. Yeah, I got so melodramatic too at the beginning of the year. I was like, it's gonna ruin my stand-up comedy career. Like,
yeah. That's the myth that I hear.
Yeah.
And I tell myself too sometimes, like, well, I mean, I don't even know if I even really tried to do stand-up without at least having a beer.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, me neither.
And I know I'm funny. I'm probably funny without it. I mean, I'm sure I could be because, I think about sometimes like when I at work, like at 9 a.m., sober as all hell, like I'm still out there like, hey guys, riffing around,
Yeah.
I could still do it. I can still do it, but I don't wanna.
Yeah.
I love drinking.
Booze
beer.
is my friend. Nah, I was drinking almost like 18 beers a day.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right. I never count. That's why I don't count.
Right.
I'd
Well,
probably
that
be
was
closer.
a rough estimate. And that was like, it would fluctuate. It was not that every day, but it was usually at least a 12 pack a day.
Yeah.
And, my tolerance was like so through the roof. I mean, you never saw me sloppy drunk, really.
No, I don't think I have.
Yeah. Maybe a little spacey on the hosting or
Yeah. Well, that's what I like. I don't even like getting sloppy drunk.
Yeah.
I don't like being in fucking, I mean, occasionally I'll get like, oh, I'm wobbly now on my toes, but I'm still not like, I don't like fucking blacking out and throwing up.
Oh, no.
I'm not in college anymore.
Nah, I haven't been blackout drunk since I think maybe my 21st birthday. Yeah, but yeah, there's a little bit of a period in my late teens, early 20s, like this was before I was 20. I was living in Atlanta, working telemarketing, yay. And I was drinking almost a half gallon of a plastic jug of Popov's vodka.
Wow.
Like a half gallon almost every night. And yeah.
I was set up to be a big drinker.
Yeah.
On my graduation from high school, my dad threw a big party, and all my brothers, I have 3 brothers. They're all much older than me. So.
Oh, you're the baby.
Oh, I'm the baby. They're much older. Like I have a picture of me like riding on my brother's back, and he's like in his military uniform, and I'm like a little kid, like, hey! Like that's how much older he is.
Yeah.
But they all came, and they had this plan that I didn't know about, and they ran it by my dad, which is even crazier that he okayed this, that they were going to get me super drunk. And like my whole family's there, like friends are there, my friends' parents are there, and they're like watching, like they just kept giving me shot after shot.
Right.
I don't even know what I think it was. I think it was Jose Cuervo because I remember the last thing I remember was my brother being like, if you take this shot, you're Jose. And I was like, I'm Jose. And they're like, I'm fucking Jose. And I took the shot and they're like, Jose. And then I walked through the screen door and I proceeded to throw up all over the tub, like everywhere. And then they dragged me in a towel through the house. Like I remember my friends being like, bye, Steve. And like their parents being like, bye, Steve. Like, judging my parents.
Wow.
And then I woke up.
In the hospital. Happy birthday, surprise.
I woke up in my bed and there was a cast next to my arm. And it was all signed by my friends. And I was like, oh, this is worse. Like, that looks like it should be on my arm.
Right.
And I'm like, I moved my arm and it's fine. But that was the plan, was to get me blackout drunk. My brothers wanted to cast my legs together.
Oh,
because my brother was a doctor and he like brought all this casting material. My dad was like, no, what if he has to get up to pee and like do his arm?
Yeah.
And they got pictures of like everyone signing my arm while I'm passed out drunk. You think I should have, but I moved my way out of the cast in the night somehow. But yeah, I should have actually learned a lesson and not drank from that, but that just set me up to be like, I fucking love partying.
Yeah.
I'm fucking Jose. Yeah, let's keep going.
Yeah.
So that was at 18. My parents
wow.
were like, get him blackout, go ahead.
Yeah.
I haven't looked back.
I bet you've woken up with a fair number of dicks drawn on your face in Sharpie before.
Never
Never
got the dick Sharpie in the face. Yeah.
That's a pretty common one.
Because I went to community college, so.
My college didn't even have dorms because it was a for-profit like scam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've woken up. I thought for sure. I mean, I've been in my buddy's dorm, and I was like, I was the first one to pass out. There's something wrong with me. But we're all pretty respectful.
Lucky you.
Yeah, we don't, because it's like we don't. I wouldn't want that shit done to me, and I'm not going to do it to you because I don't want it done to me. So I think we all had that general like rule.
Empathy. How about that?
Huh?
What a novel concept. Especially like I don't want to sound like that old person, but it seems like people get less and less empathetic with like the, just being complete pieces of shit for the internet points.
It's really bad right now. Society's fucking crippled. I think we're hurting, and it's showing with how much people are just short fused, ready to yell at a stranger.
Yeah.
Got something to
Karen,
prove.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah. Doubling down too is like, just admit you're fucking wrong, and say, all right, when so many people fucking getting angry. That's when everything's getting taped. Like why? Yeah. And then they love it.
Well,
they start getting angrier and performing more.
Exactly.
For the camera.
It's the modern form of the Roman Colosseum is exactly what it is. Which is, the Colosseum popped up right before the collapse of the Roman Empire. So, they say history repeats itself. I mean, we got a Colosseum and we got white supremacy on the rise again, which I was just watching this Louis Theroux documentary the other night. Like, apparently there's internet trolls that make shit tons of money, like saying racist shit on the internet. And they say that they're trolls, like, oh, we're just being ironic, like it's just, it's just because those words and those, you can't hear that anymore because it's policed. And so we're just doing it for the lulls.
Yeah.
But it turns out they're just fucking racist. Like,
it turns out that
they're just gaslighting everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your views. And you've learned to play the victim as well. Like, no, you can't say it anymore. Now I'm just trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. Freedom of speech.
Yeah,
and it's like,
buddy.
Well, I mean, yeah, freedom of speech. I mean, I'd rather people be open with their bigotry, because then I know, like, okay, avoid that asshole.
Yeah.
Or, if everybody is, doing that Southern euphemism, oh, bless your heart, like all the time, everywhere, like,
yeah.
It's like, okay, who are the psychopaths? Well, psychos are usually pretty good at that, it's pretending to have emotions. And,
I know I am.
you excel at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't seem like one of those high IQ people. Like you don't seem smart enough to be a psychopath.
Mm-hmm. It's the glasses.
Right.
Smart. I know I'm not. I'm pretty simple. I'm a simple guy. Give me more beer, please. If I stop drinking, watch out though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might come out. I'll have to find something else to fill the time. It'll be killing people. Methodically.
Well, that's a fun hobby to have. Yeah.
It takes a lot, A
lot of preparation.
And I'm not good at that. Yeah, I'll probably have to pick something out. It'll probably have to be like, just murders of passion. I can't
Murders
prep.
of passion. Hookers, right? Like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was it that new line I was trying out? If you're a prostitute and you get murdered, is that like the same as getting fired from your job? It's just wondering what my retirement plans are like.
Sorry, my restless legs kicked the table.
Oh, that's cool. Like, this table's seen better days.
It's nice. It's the classic padded folding table.
Yeah.
Do you play cards on it? Eat dinner?
Oh yeah, we actually don't use it for dinner. We usually play D&D on it.
Ah.
Yeah, we got the big rollout map and all the miniatures and.
All right. So I've only played D&D once.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and wasn't even real D&D. It was like Tune. It was like a quick. My buddy was like, "You never played before? We'll do it. It's like this is designed to be played in one night, one story." I was like, "Cool, I'm in." I've always been interested in it, but I never had a group of friends that would do it. And then every time that they would, I'd be like, I'm going out. Yeah.
Yeah, this ain't gonna get me any pussy.
Yeah. This ain't gonna help my cause. Yeah.
In fact, it's gonna do quite the opposite. But see, nowadays geek is the new chic, like the nerdier the better.
That's right. Now I gotta start telling girls, yo, I play D&D.
Yeah.
Oh, does he? Oh.
Yeah. No, but I mean, you're an improv guy, like you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think I'd love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I should get a comedy D&D group going. 'Cause,
There used to be one.
yeah, actually, we were at Cape Fear Games last night, and Megan Cook was working there. I didn't know she worked there. Yeah, we just did a show together recently. It was awesome. Yeah, I overheard her talking about she was playing D&D with a comedian who was the dungeon master, and she was saying like, oh, it's so hilarious and like, the best campaign I've ever played. And I was like, and I totally meant to ask her who it was, because I'm like, that sounds awesome. A bunch of comedians playing D&D, and fuck yeah, like, I mean, my cousin, his company made like $10 million last year playing D&D online. Like they stream it.
Wow.
Yeah, Critical Role is the name of the show. And
is it local here?
No, it's in L.A. And but it's all professional voice actors playing Dungeons and Dragons, and
yeah, because there's a guy I worked with who like set up a room to stream his Dungeons and Dragons nights, and I was like, I want to get in on that, and of course I never made it.
Oh well, shit. I'll get something set up if you're interested, and if you can find like 2 to 3 more people that
talk to Chad about it.
Chad? Okay, I will.
He was the guy who did the tunes for me.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Like some improv people to. Fuck yeah! Hey Matt, I'm coming for you. Your cousin's gonna outcompete Critical Role. Nah, no, he's built a fucking empire. I mean, like I can't go on the internet in D&D circles without somebody saying his name. It's just insane.
Wow.
And he was the one that taught me how to play in high school. But yeah, like if you could do all the voices and stuff like that, it's
well, all right, I'll check it out.
yeah.
It can only build my character. I need another layer.
Yeah. Well, in this case, you can physically build your character. Like,
do you guys come dressed up, or how deep are we getting into this?
No, that would be LARPing.
Right.
Which I've always wanted to try. I'm not gonna lie, but that's a whole nother tier of nerddom. Like.
That stuff's not attractive to ladies.
No, unless there's LARPing ladies.
Ladies of the LARP.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, LARPers are the people that nerds make fun of, right? So, but
there's cliques wherever you go.
Yeah.
There's a hierarchy of who can be made fun of.
Yeah. I stopped giving a shit a long time ago.
I make fun of everyone. That's the thing.
Yeah, same here.
I don't hold back for anybody.
Yeah. My grandma's so much fun to make fun of. Me and my brothers always give her a hard time. Yeah, what clique were you in high school? Were you a theater geek?
God, here's a non-answer. I was a fucking chameleon.
One of those people.
Yeah, I was able, because I played football my freshman year. And then I didn't play it again. I then was, I guess towards the last end of it, I we were in a band, so like we knew a lot of the band geeks. I knew some of the football players, but the only real clique I was in was the guys who smoked weed in the park and was in the band. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wasn't a nerd. I wasn't a geek, but I wasn't cool.
Right.
But I wasn't. Yeah. I got by. I wasn't bullied, but I never bullied anybody.
Right.
I just skated through high school.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I just got in and out.
Yeah. Doesn't matter if it's a hacky sack or a football or.
Yeah. I started with football, ended with hacky sack.
Yeah.
Who's found weed in high school?
Right. Yeah, I was one of the goth kids, but there were I went to 4 different high schools in 4 different years and dropped out twice. And
you never got to find your clique.
No, I was just
Lone wolfing.
No, I would have some friends, but it was always a very small group of weirdos. And but honestly, I didn't go to school very much. I was in accelerated classes and gifted and all that stuff up until high school, and then I just got it really changed when I moved from Florida to Georgia, from South Florida to Georgia. Got to make the distinction because farther north you go in Florida, the more southern you get, and being around a bunch of football crazed rednecks for the first time in my life was really off-putting. And they didn't have a lot of my credits. I had too many credits to be a freshman, and so I skipped some classes, but then it was oh, we'll put you in 10th grade science, and then we're doing shit in that class that I did in 7th grade science in Florida, and I'm this is just wasting my time. And
we don't know what to do with you.
Yeah. And I knew it was time to quit high school when the faculty joined in on bullying me. And
So did you ever graduate? You got your diploma?
Nope. GED.
Okay.
When I was 20. And I slept through most of the test. And
well, you're gifted.
Yeah. Yeah. They said I had the highest score in the county since they've been testing there. And
they're we're really sorry we dropped the ball on you a couple years ago in high school.
Yeah. Education is often not a place for smart people, because it's the public school isn't there to teach you critical thinking and shit like that. It's
to comply.
Yeah. Go push the button.
Yeah.
Go clean the machine.
Walk in single file on the right-hand side of the lockers. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just born to say, fuck you, man.
I was almost a teacher. That was.
I wanted to be for a while.
Yeah, when I first graduated, I went to a college up in Massachusetts, and I was thinking. I was just going through the first general classes at first, but I was maybe I'll be a history teacher. Yeah. But then I flunked out of that first year because I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And then I eventually moved down here and came back and went to Cape Fear.
Well, the thing with teaching nowadays, after No Child Left Behind, you don't have any control over the fucking curriculum. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the big things that I found appealing was okay, I could show them how to do it this way, and and cater to different learning styles, and I taught music for a couple of years in LA before I moved here and loved that, In
a school?
No, private, through music stores and privately and stuff. But what'd you go to Cape Fear for?
It ended up being pre-communications.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to go...
Pre-communications, so is that caveman talk? And,
yeah, it was a lot
just
of
painting
drawing,
and ochre.
Grunts.
Yeah, okay.
No, it was designed because it's a 4-year degree, so I was supposed to transfer to UNCW and finish it out to get a communications degree. I always wanted to be on the radio or do voiceover.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what my cousin does professionally.
I would, it's, again, I should get a nice little setup like this and just fucking do it. But I really wanted to do that. And then I actually, there was a short period in time when because when I came down here, I was like gung ho. I was like, I'm going to school.
Yeah.
Let's do it, Steve. And I
8 o'clock in the morning. Oh shit.
no, I was doing great. One of my teachers like just loved my enthusiasm, and she like hooked me up with like she's like you'd be good for public relations, like do PR, and I was like, hell yeah, actually, I'd probably be really good at that. Yeah. And she's like, I'm gonna get you.
You've got one of the least punchable faces I've ever seen.
Yeah. Right. People think I'm likable.
Right.
I would have probably done great. But then I started doing stand up, and obviously I was like, oh, I got booked in my first one, and I just started doing stand up and improv, and then our improv became the house team at Nut Street.
Oh, so yeah. So that the devil.
Daredevil?
Yeah. It's been around since Nut Street?
No. So when I started at Nut Street, we were the house team, so we just called ourselves the Nut House Improv Team. And they wanted us to do what Daredevil is doing now, is to build an infrastructure and like to basically create classes and, start almost like a system where you get more people taking classes, and then you could have more teams built, and you have people coming in through the system, and like all being taught like the same way, and just basically like a UCB or Groundlings, whatever. And we didn't get it off the ground because we just were like, well, we care more about these shows, and we didn't have the person with the type of personality who could build that with us. I mean, we all would have done it, but we didn't have anyone who wanted to like really run all of that.
Right.
Luckily that these guys are trained into doing that. So they built all that. And I was, once Dead Crow closed, we didn't have a place to do improv anymore. And they were like, well, look what we've just built. And I was like, I'm coming aboard. Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Oh, so there's a building and everything?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, we've built an infrastructure. I guess when I said infrastructure, but no, we don't have a building. We have been using other spaces like community theaters and stuff, and sometimes we do get to practice at Dead Crow. My new stand-up class is actually going to be at Dead Crow.
Oh, hell yeah!
Yeah, so that's going to be really cool. It's going to be on Tuesdays in the evening at Dead Crow.
I'd love to pop by and say hi sometime.
Yeah.
Meet the new crop that I'll have to be competing with in this.
I just keep putting more people on the open mic list.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
I'm not even hosting open mics anywhere now. It's weird because it was like back to back for a year, but
it's not bad. I mean, if you like it, keep doing it. But there's a moment where it's like, oh, this burns me out.
It was burning me out a bit, yeah. And I noticed I wasn't writing hardly at all anymore because it's like there's some weeks I'm not going to have a bunch of new material every week, but I'm hosting, and I'm not really great at crowd work, and it's just I don't know. I don't mind hosting every once in a while. It's not my favorite thing in the world. Like it feels a little out of my element. Like it's not, I'm not always super high energy, come on, let's, I'm pretty low key. So like it's,
my buddy was joking with me today. He's because we did our improv show for over 10 years every week. And I hosted. He's like, dude, you've hosted over 1,000 improv shows.
Holy shit.
I was like, yeah, if you think about it like that, yeah. Oh, yeah, I have.
So yeah, with all that stand-up experience and improv, and I mean, having doing a communications degree and everything, like integrating all that shit, I mean, it's a great idea. I mean, nowadays, it same goes for music too. Like, I don't know how long you've been playing as a musician, but back in the, 90s and I mean, up even through like the early 2000s, it's like, you got to get that record deal. That's the big break. You got to, get your music in front of the right people and they can make your career. There's the gatekeepers. And
that mindset is in me. Yeah.
Right. But it's gone.
It's gone.
That doesn't exist anymore. Right. Like, so you have to make your own career. But all you need is, fucking few $100s and whoops. Let me break this this is my guitar player's mic too. It's like $400 mic, and it's like
scratch.
Yeah, but yeah, like you just
It's
have
all
to
do it yourself now. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm not good at that. Like I said, I'm not accountable for myself. I need a manager.
Yeah. Just somebody to tell you what to do, when to do it.
Yep, I'll be there. Yeah, just tell me to be there, and I'll bring it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely. You're right. You're absolutely right. Just fucking build it yourself. Brand yourself. Build your presence on social media, which I hate doing.
I'm not a big fan either, but
Yeah.
it's one of those necessary evils. Like, yeah, I've always been good at the content creation side of like whatever it is, and but the promotional side, like I worked in sales for a while, and I mean, I'm good at telling people what they want to hear, but I just always felt dirty, even if it might have been something that somebody needed, or, it's just like, don't like pushing somebody, but like face to face individually, like it's easy to, if I'm having a conversation with somebody, like plugging this or plugging that, feels natural, because it's like, hey, I'm proud of this, and we're having a conversation. We either know each other or getting to know each other. Like, what do you do? Here's what I do. Check it out. You know. But when it's a bunch of fucking internet strangers, I don't even know what to say that doesn't or do that doesn't come off like pathetic pandering. Like, please look at my content, please.
Yeah, I do not like talking into a camera, like, hey guys, I'm just out here.
Yeah.
Oh man, and I love talking about myself. I turn this whole thing into like, I'll talk about myself for a goddamn hour. That's not a problem. I'll tell you everything. But when I have to do it, like, hey, doing my daily update here, guys. No thanks.
Yeah. I only jerked off for 5 minutes today.
A new record.
That's down from 45 yesterday.
I wish I could last that long.
I can't do that.
45-minute jerk sesh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Try crystal math.
Yeah, you're hurting yourself, man.
Oh, yeah. 13 hours later, like, oh my God, what has gone? What happened to my day?
Ow,
when you
ow.
know it.
It's like when you work out, like, you feel that the next day.
All right.
It's leg day.
Yeah. Shit, what was I just gonna say?
I don't know.
Damn it! You totally threw me off the rhythm.
Finger shot.
This thing's so addictive.
We've had a brain fart.
Yeah, this is my guitar players too, and it's like some kind of a hippie toy. I mean, it's just you can't make play a wrong note on it.
You're a genius.
Yeah. But the talking directly to the camera thing. It feels mentally unstable to me to talk to imaginary people.
Yeah.
I mean, even though they're real people.
Yeah, I told you, I've hosted thousands of shows.
Yeah.
And that's for a live crowd all the time. I can do it. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
But once I have to imagine that they're there,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I could do it. It just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I just get past that, and I'll be fine.
Right.
But then I'll be that person who does that. I don't like that person, but.
Like I tried dicking around with TikTok a little bit. I got I didn't even know they did this, but one of my videos wasn't removed, but the audio was removed and the video was still there. But it was me telling a joke, which I don't remember exactly which joke it was, but in the tag, I tagged Westboro Baptist Church.
Oh.
And
They scrubbed it?
Yeah.
They got that type of power, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's a Chinese company. They scrub people all the time.
Well, I guess I meant Wrightsboro.
Oh, Westboro.
Westboro Beach.
Well, no, all it takes.
Beach? Westboro Beach?
Yeah, thinking of Wrightsville Beach.
Uh-oh.
And I'm sure there's some of those crazy extremists over there.
Westboro Beach. No gays allowed there.
Yeah. Westboro Beach. No, but I mean, all it takes is somebody to like report something, I mean, just one Karen. It's all it takes to ruin your streaming career.
That's it.
Yeah.
Everyone loves to be, they love that taking someone down, right?
Yeah.
What's that? I'm sure that's an actual name for that.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna pull this out?
It's a German name. It's a German word, Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude, which translates to deriving pleasure from others' misfortune.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I don't think that's what I mean though. I think it's different. I think it's a little bit more like recent, like of just like wanting to kill someone, not kill someone, but like kill their career
Right.
out of faux outrage of like your
Right.
faux. I'm offended by that. And
Right,
now I feel like I got to get some justice, and
Yeah.
and they know they have this power now because they can write a review
Yeah.
and give a 1 star.
Well, I mean, I don't blame anybody for it, even though it's obnoxious as hell. But I think it's just it's a symptom of broader feelings of inequity, just and powerlessness. Everybody knows that the government and the corporations are fucking us over.
Yeah.
Nobody seems to
Mad
know
at
what to
that.
do about
Yeah,
it.
just take it out on each other.
Yeah, exactly. Which that's not by accident.
Mm-hmm.
It's the old strategy in the book, divide and conquer. It's been around since I'm sure since we were like throwing rocks at each other. Split them. Like accuse each other in monkey speak, like rah, 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 you took
Now
my
we're
rock. Yeah.
Now we found our flow. It's the conspiracy theories.
Oh,
Let's go.
down that rabbit hole. What's your favorite conspiracy theory right now?
Oh, right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know any of the new ones really, but I believe the shadow government or the Illuminati, whatever we want to call them. I mean, I think they're controlling everything. Huh?
Oh, absolutely.
The what's the rich family that has like its own army, and they invented banking.
Kardashians?
No, they invented banking. Rothschilds.
Oh, right.
I think that was one of my favorites too.
I don't know if I've heard that one.
Well, the Rothschilds, I think they're like literally they I think they invented banking and like the idea of interest or holding the money, and they are like generationally wealthy, like beyond
Right.
like you can't even imagine this wealth, like it's but yeah, I think they run a lot of the shadow government because they're the most powerful ones, and you don't even know about them, right? Like that's
Right.
I'm making this shit up.
Yeah. No, that's great. I actually thought about having a regular segment on here where I encourage my guests to come up with conspiracy theories, and I didn't even have to suggest it. You just
Hey, man.
go on there. Like, you see, we're on the same page. I love it. Yeah, Epstein.
Epstein.
I just read that one of his co-conspirators was just found hung in his jail cell.
Him too?
Yeah. But see, like that whole child sex ring, and what the the QAnon people are all upset about is actually happening.
Yeah.
Right. We know that, but we also know that fucking pizzeria doesn't have a basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're getting your messages mixed up there. Yeah. Focusing on the wrong thing.
Yeah, we need to focus on the resurrection of the Kennedys. Like what the fuck is that even about? Like, it's just, me and Mark were just talking about flat earthers yesterday.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my. I went deep in this rabbit hole. It's the hollow Earth.
Oh right, I've heard a little bit of it.
Yeah. I
mean,
like that one. That's actually one of my favorites.
It kind of speaks for itself, but what are some of the other details to that one? Because I'm not super familiar.
So, Hollow Earth, I got into it, is about just over on the poles. It's there's like an Arctic wall of mountains, but
Right.
it's supposed to be once you get over that, it just then like it turns into the earth, and you imagine like almost like a cylindrical opening. It's open on both ends, and you're able to like all forms of like gravity are messed up, but like there's a race of people down there.
Well, the reptilians, right?
A little bit of the reptilians, but in the Aryans as well.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
I
why.
thought they were from Scandinavia.
So the Hitler, they had a base down there, and he was so interested about going down there.
Well, that I already knew
you
about.
knew that because he that's where he saw the
Because
Aryan
they got the
people.
diving bell UFO that they built in the 30s. That
And he was trying to get to the Hollow Earth because they had the beautiful utopian world down there full of the Aryan race, and that's why that's where he got that idea of like, oh, these are the most powerful, greatest race of people, blonde hair, blue eyes, because they're aliens from the Hollow Earth.
Right. So that's he saw the potential, even though he wasn't Aryan himself.
Yeah, he knows. He's like, I need to get down there.
Yeah, it's like it's like the first time I went to California, having grown up in the South, and being like, oh wow, I love this place. Like, why can't everywhere be like this?
Yeah, it's beautiful down here.
Yeah,
You're so nice.
Yeah.
That was a fun one. And apparently there's like crazy animals, like dinosaurs are living and walking around down there in a harmonious, symbiotic world with people.
Well, that's how it was in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dinosaurs were there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe that is Eden down there.
Oh.
In there, if it's
in there, down there. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I always wished I was like the golden age of like explorers. Like I missed out on that. I wanted to be someone like that. Just
Lewis and Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guys who would like go
raping my indigenous peoples.
Yeah. I really wanted to take over an indigenous village.
Right.
And then name it. This is Steve's. This is Steve's now.
Town.
This is Steve Town.
Yeah.
I couldn't come up with a better name. Sorry.
Well, some shenanigans like that must have gone on, because that's where my drinking comes from. I'm Irish and Cherokee. It's like the perfect storm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Drink all the fire water. And the flat Earth thing's hilarious. Like, most of this shit starts off as like 4chan trolls, or what is it, 7chan or 8chan or.
Never been.
Yeah. No, me neither. That's like the lowbrow version of Reddit. Yeah. Although Reddit isn't particularly erudite these days.
Yeah. I have a very small select. It's all, am I the asshole?
Right. That's a fun one.
Little petty revenge.
Yeah, I have that one too. Always need a little eye bleach from time to time. I like what could go wrong.
Yeah,
and face palm.
And instant karma.
Yeah.
Fight porn.
Yeah. Oh, so that's how they do that.
Yeah. It's like why I look at porn with dicks that look like mine. I'm like, that's how he does it.
Yeah, it's an instruction manual. Yeah. How-to videos. I think Pornhub should have a Karen's category, where it's like just angry,
for them? Oh, no.
angry lesbian sex.
Wow, they all have that haircut.
Yeah,
That'd be good. That'd be big.
Yeah.
But then it would turn into my stepmom, Karen.
Of course it would. Yeah. What the hell's up with all the incest porn? Like, I have a theory.
Oh, I mean, okay. I'm listening.
It's all Game of Thrones' fault.
Ah. Okay. I mean,
Because before that show,
it was
nobody
there.
ever talked about that.
It was there though, because it is the most taboo. So that's why that's why people like it.
Well, it's not the most taboo.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, like if there wasn't incest to a degree, there wouldn't be a human civilization. There wouldn't be a human species, because you know, you got to propagate, and
That's-
you know, like if you're
Just started with 2 people.
yeah. So like whether you look at it biblically or evolutionarily, there's still some brother sister fucking going on either way.
Huh.
So
I don't like to look at it that way, huh? No, you put it that way.
I'm gonna go fuck my cousin.
Yeah. I'm only into the step stuff, you know?
Right? Yeah, no, but like it wasn't mainstream, right? Like it was until I noticed like Game of Thrones and
Yeah.
like casual office conversation would start turning to incest, and I never watched the show.
I never saw a goddamn episode. I'm sure I'd love it.
I don't know.
Just like D&D.
I eventually gave in and watched an episode and did not like it at all. Mostly because I don't like it when the setting's like a period piece type deal.
Yeah.
You know, it's like medieval fantasy, but then they use like modern day English colloquialisms
Yeah.
and speech patterns.
Takes you out
and-
of it.
Yeah, like same with The Witcher. You know, it's like I just can't. Yeah, and yeah, I want them to all talk like they're British, even though there were other places on the planet during medieval Tolkien land. You know, just make them all fucking British, and then I can buy that it's medieval. Right?
Yeah. Well, that is Middle Earth. Isn't that supposed to be in the Hollow Earth? But that's not Game of Thrones.
No,
I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah, cousin fucking Game of Thrones.
That's-
They had a lot of it.
That's
So it's
in
been-
Middle Earth too. That they love fucking their cousins down there in the Hollow Earth.
Right. And down in Hobbiton. Oh man.
You smoking here, huh?
Sometimes, if I get the itch, like if we're talking, like usually when I'm talking with somebody, I'm just like chain smoking.
Yeah.
And
I was with the other day, I was like laying on her bed, just like smoking. I was like, dang. Do that in here, huh?
yeah, no, I mean you're welcome to smoke if you want. Yeah, try to promote good health on my YouTube channel.
Hell yeah.
You know, I like to close every episode with sharing a needle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been shared not just with me and my last guest, but like all the other guests that I've had so far.
I got a hole for it. I'll just put it right in the.
Oh, it's already there. Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Just reuse the hole. We all share that hole too.
Oh. Damn. So you play in a band too.
Yeah.
What's their name again?
Cool Jerk.
Cool Jerk.
Cool Jerk.
Yeah.
It's the first band I've ever played drums for.
And what'd you play before? Like what else?
Bass. I played bass in a couple bands, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Nice. We should jam sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a drum set in my room, like a digital kit.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was, being in bands, you always like, let me hop on the drums for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And so I knew some basic stuff, and then we got a kit for our garage and just started playing. And my buddy was like, hey, I was like, basically he was like, made a bet with his boss who was at Fermental, and was like, I got a guy come in, he's like, and I want like a folk punk band to open. He's like, do you think you could get one started? And he's like, let me see what I can do.
Yeah.
And he's like, Steve, you want to play drums in this folk punk band? I was
Folk punk.
I was like, I don't know what that is.
Right.
I was like, and you know what I can do, and it's not much.
Right.
But I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
And then, we got our friend Joe on the bass, and Graham's playing guitar and sings, and we just clicked. Like, it was immediately, like, we try to play once a week, and we just, like, our energies are great together, and like our creativities work so well. Like he's like, I'm working on this, and then I'll start playing, and all of a sudden we just wrote another fucking song.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I love that chemistry. I saw you guys at Reggie's, and I couldn't
get in.
stop watching you on the drums because I love drum faces. Like every drummer has their own distinct face, and like the way you sit, like your posture and like your stick technique and your face, like it looks like you're sitting on your extra sticks.
Yeah.
Like like
I
you look
Yeah.
like you make me look. You remind me of like one of those like white big band jazz drummers like.
I have since heard that feedback from a couple different people that I was too stiff.
Oh no, I like it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not ragging on you. I think it's great.
That was our second show, and I was nervous as all fuck.
Oh yeah.
It was at the big place. It was Reggie's. My kit was mic'd up. I was like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
my god,
They're gonna hear everything.
and they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, multiple people, like, even the sound guy was like, man, he's like, I think you guys are awesome. He's like, I just want to see you play those drums harder.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then I figured out a new sticking technique, and I was like, that's how it's done. And now I can get some better rolls and fills, and so I feel a lot more comfortable behind the kit now. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you guys sounded good, and yeah, I could tell you were all having fun, which
Yeah.
that's not always the case.
Yeah.
Like, I've been in bands where it's very much a job.
Yeah.
You know, you can barely stand the people that you're up on stage with, and you're just there for the paycheck, and you know.
yeah, it's terrible. Everything I do is for fun. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and you were playing with my brother's band, and I had him on here last week.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's been obsessed with drums ever since he was a little kid, and but he's got like hammer hands. Like he's like mostly deaf in one ear. So like I used to play in their band for a little bit too, and it's like after every rehearsal, my ears would just be ringing because he's just like blam 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 blam, like all his cymbals have chips and pieces missing out of them. And so,
Yeah. I'm loving it now.
yeah.
I can't wait for the next show. I don't have any lined up. I'd love to promote one here, but
I was going to ask. And how long have you guys been together?
5-6 months maybe.
Oh, okay. So
Maybe
you're
5 months.
Yeah, you're
What is it,
still
February?
like
Yeah.
fresh out the gate. Like, are you doing like all original music, or did you? That
Yeah.
was all original.
That was all original.
Oh, cool.
We do, if we're doing a longer set, we have like one cover, and it's of like, well, no, I'm sorry, we do a Kinks cover. We do Teenage Kicks, and what is that? We do, it's called Tennessee Mountain Angel or something like that. It's from a band like Lo-Fi. I've never heard of them, but
Right.
the song, we punk it up a little bit more, add a little poppiness to it, and pick up the pace, and it rocks. But yeah, we all agreed that we want to just play originals because
Yeah.
we're not in this to do a cover band.
No.
If we wanted to be a cover band, we could go do that, and we could go play shows at the bars all the time.
And
But
the thing is, like, it's so frustrating that cover bands make easily like 3 times as much money as an original band in the short term. Like, weddings, bar mitzvahs. That's but I don't know, like something integrity or whatever. Like, I don't want to be a fucking living jukebox, like,
Yeah.
like just go listen to Pandora or something, like,
yeah, and if you're that's the scene here in Wilmington. Now.
I noticed.
It's
Yeah.
everyone wants to be out at the bar and listen to music that they know.
right.
And that's why it's so hard to have original music in a venue. That's why Reggie's is
Yeah.
pretty much the only one, right?
Yeah. Well, and bars are.
Bars are
Yeah.
maybe Burnt Mill Creek.
Yeah. Yeah, we're playing Barzar next month, putting on a big production and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, I should talk to the band. We could probably book you on like next show that we have, like, because we put together a lot of our own shows too.
Yeah, we'll do one.
Speaking of,
We'll do a show.
yeah, I meant to give you one of those when I saw you at the cheesesteak place.
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
We got to get some merch. We got to make a logo.
Yeah. Do you have any artists in your band or?
No. I got my buddy.
I'll design a logo for you.
Yeah?
Yeah. If you look back there, those 2 paintings on the walls are mine.
Oh, yeah. Show us something. I'll take a look at it.
Okay. Give me some thematic ideas or like what kind of vibe. Because, I mean, Cool Jerks, you know, I immediately go dirty with that.
Okay.
You know, mine's always in the dumpster, so, or in the gutter. I mean, both gutter, dumpster. Yeah.
Well, we're all pretty not clean cut. The other 2 guys are they're all heavily bearded.
Yeah.
But they're not dirty guys, and they like to keep presentable.
Right.
So.
Right. It's a cultivated lumberjack look.
Yeah. Yeah. You get it. We all love drinking beers.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. Nothing too dirty.
Okay. Because yeah, like my instinct said, it's just a hand and a dick.
Yeah.
Just holding it like a frothy beer.
Okay. Yeah. What else we got? That'd be my logo.
Right? Yeah. If you start your own podcast, it'll just, yeah.
Like a hammer and sickle, but it's just...
Right? Yeah, like... I don't know. It usually takes me a long time to like brainstorm
of course.
like art stuff.
I'm not putting you on the spot right now.
Yeah. That's like the worst as an artist, or I mean as a writer too, like the blank canvas or the blank page is just like, okay.
Yeah. All right. Jokes. What's funny? Butts. I like butts. Butts. That's not funny.
Maybe if you say it funny, fanny pack. Juxtapose, bananas.
Banana butt.
Yeah, cannons, hamster cannons. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're getting there.
Yeah. Like, I knew this guy. He kept a banana in his fanny pack, and I was like, why the hell do you keep a banana in your fanny pack? Well, it's to feed my hamster cannons. Like, there we go. Yeah.
The Mad Libs of comedy over here.
Actually, I'll show you one of my cheats.
I used to go up stage with a Mad Lib.
Really?
I would do it with the audience sometimes. If I was like hurting for material, I was like, I don't know anything right now. I don't know what to do. Let me get them involved. You want me to read the script out right now?
No. Just take a look. Like every page or two is different.
Oh, like writing prompts?
Yeah. There's this something John Simpson compiled, at first when he showed it to me, I was like, oh, cool. Like, I don't know how useful it'd be for me because like I'm already the GOAT, and even though I'd been doing it for 6 months, like I know how to write a joke. Like this is an insult to my abilities, and But honestly, I've gotten a lot of good stuff out of it. I mean, most of the examples in there are garbage, but but when it comes to just like, well, I know I need to write some new material. Where do I start? Like, and that's the perfect tool to get started. Just like, just plug into this scenario and.
That's nice. Where'd you get that?
John Simpson.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. That might be beneficial to my students.
Oh yeah.
Maybe I could create something myself. Maybe.
Yeah. I can. I'll get you a copy of this if you like. I've gotten a bunch of good jokes that way.
Cool.
I've tried to encourage Mark to use it, because like he doesn't write a whole lot, and which is fine. I mean, everybody works at their own pace.
Yeah.
I was like, well, just look at it, just try, like, it doesn't matter, like, just plug stuff in, you know, like, just in the, it's like, well, I don't know what to plug in. It's like literally anything.
Yeah.
It's just-
Hamster cannon.
yeah. Oh, good. I got you saying it too. Like, I've been trying to get that one to catch on.
Hamster cannon?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this was all a pre-written bit?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not a bit. Like, I don't know. It's one of those fucking
Just words that were in your mind.
neuroatypical habits. Like, I don't know. There's like words that'll have a certain rhythm or texture that is just almost like someone with Tourette's yelling out like shit fucker, shit fuck. You know, like it's got a thing to it, a ring to it that like suppresses this compulsion in my brain. So yeah, like it just came out like hamster cannons, and like, and so like I just started saying that, and I've been saying it a lot for, you know, like, oh, hamster cannons, you know, and like now I notice my bandmates start saying, and people around me start saying it, and like,
Oh boy, you got me now.
yeah. Before that, it was before that, every time like I'd get bored in a conversation, or if it like was just being silly, I'd say, did I ever tell you about the time that I punched an antelope in the face? And everybody's like, no, like, no, then tell me more. And like, sometimes I just keep going with it and make up some story on the spot. But, and I did that for like 2 years, just all the time, like everybody, you know, and people that knew me, I'd be like, hey, so did I ever tell you the time about, and I'd be like, oh, God damn it. No, I don't want to hear about the antelope. You know, just shut up. And, but everybody, it was in on the joke, and I finally was able to stop saying that once I put that as a punchline in one of my jokes. I like exercised it, you know.
Yeah.
So now I got to do something with hamster cannons. And I got my bandmates, and I got a bunch of like, who are a bunch of hippies, saying "Hail Satan" all the time, because
Hippies love Satan.
oh yeah. Was it I'm trying to get good video of that joke. I don't know if you've heard my Monopoly rant. And the end of it, you know, it's like, the government gets more intel from Monopoly than from waterboarding, and I get more family fun from waterboarding than playing that stupid fucking game. Can't I get a Hail Satan? And I thought that was such a risky thing. Like I never expected anybody to say anything back, you know, but like every time I've done it, the crowd's like, Hail Satan! Until like this one show recently, but they were already clapping and applauding. I don't even know if they heard me Hail Satan. They were just applauding the rant. But I want to get good quality video of, you know, a big crowd just all going, Hail Satan! And like, just edit that out of context, just for my YouTube channel, like no setup or anything, just Hail Satan! But there's one time I told that joke at Dead Crow, and it was kind of a big crowd, and I was trying to get the video there. But right after Anthony Corvino was hosting that night, and he was like, you know, Steph, there's a really easy strategy that, you know, makes the game go faster is, you know, you auction off your properties to each other, and so you can like bid on properties. If you're not landing on other properties, you can play a game like 45 minutes, and I'm like at the back of the room, and I'm just like, fuck you, Anthony! Trying to ruin my joke.
Don't explain it.
Yeah.
There is that, when I remember rereading the Monopoly rules. And
it is a rule in there, yeah.
It's like, oh, you have to, like every property, I remember playing, you like I don't want to buy this one. It's like, no, you have to buy every one.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford, you have to auction it off. I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense,
Yeah. I think my family was just always too poor to like buy a new Monopoly board, so, you know, it didn't have all the pieces or the instruction book. And, you know, secondhand from a thrift store.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, Monopoly's not a game to be played by the rules.
No, it's capitalism.
It's a game where you make your own rules.
It's my property now.
Yeah, which is funny, like, because the original version of the
D&D
board
Monopoly.
game, I'm sure it exists. It's really ironic. The original design of the board game was made by a school teacher to teach the dangers of runaway capitalism. It was an anti-capitalist. It was supposed to teach about the dangers of monopoly,
Yeah.
right? And then it gets bought out by a board game monopoly and turned into the exact opposite of what it was. Yeah. Yeah, fuck you, Milton Bradley.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Hold on a second.
You doing one?
Huh?
What's up?
Oh, yeah. If I could bum one of yours, because that way I'm not having to pack a fresh one. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Ah.
I've been, I work with a guy who's from Honduras, and his accent, it's funny, like, I've gotten better at understanding him now, but when he's, like, we're working at this house, and the homeowner comes out every time, and, like, he asks him a question, and he answers, because he's the main builder, and he gets the answer, and he looks at me and goes, "What do you say?" I'm translating for him now.
Wow.
But not in Spanish. I'm picking up some, but he's a little too fast for me.
Right. Yeah, I had that situation when I was 19, and I was trying to save up the money to move to L.A. From South Carolina. Fuck you, South Carolina.
Yeah.
I hate South Carolina. But I was working at a Wendy's, just like every shift I could get, overtime, just like stowing money away, staying with my grandma, and just stashing every single bit. And but we had a new employee come in who barely spoke any English, and this really tiny, petite, like pretty, like girl from I don't remember where she was, like Uruguay or something, and I had some Spanish, like I took Spanish in high school, but I failed it because I was learning Chinese on the side, and
That one's much harder.
not to me, because you don't have to conjugate verbs in Chinese. Like the grammar's almost exactly like English, so it's tonal. So, and I'm a musician, so it's like
I only know ni hao ma.
yeah, 我很好. Yeah, 闭嘴.
Is that Italian?
No, that's 闭嘴. That means shut up, or yeah, like yeah. 我要饮啤酒.
What's the, like...
Want to drink a beer.
Do you have any... I like languages too, but I had a couple. I knew a phrase in Farsi. It was like the most odd one I knew.
Oh, what's that?
It was Shomu Mifami, Shomu Farsi Mifamin, and it's, do you speak Farsi? It's like the worst one to know, because like do you? And they'd be like, yeah, and I'm like, I don't.
Right. Yeah. Let's see, I got Я хочу пить пиво. That's Russian for I want a beer. See, I know that.
You know that in a couple ones.
Yeah. Здравствуйте, как вы поживаете? That's supposed to be hi, how are you in Russian, but I've been told that my pronunciation is really shitty, and I understand because I'm not accustomed to pronouncing strings of consonants in a row.
Yeah. This guy at the bar last night, I closed up my tab and he was next to me, and like, what's your last name? I go, Marcinowski.
Yeah.
This guy next to me is like, Polish?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah. And he goes, how Polish are you? And I was like,
I don't know math.
I was like, pretty Polish. And then he said something to me in Polish, and I was like, not that Polish.
Right. We're I mean, you're a few years younger than me, and I mean, it seems like, culturally, that's a big shift these days. Like a 5-year difference is way more meaningful than it was,
Right.
30, 40 years ago.
Sure.
Were dumb Polak jokes still a thing when you were growing up?
Oh, I heard them all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Well, especially because I'd go, like, hang out with my dad and his friends. Like, they'd go play cards and shit, and like they'd drink pitchers of Long Island iced teas.
Oh, fun.
And then drive us home. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
But yeah, their buddies would always rag him.
Oh, now that previous anecdote you told me makes more sense. Yeah.
About yeah,
Yeah.
it's generation. Yeah.
Right.
Got it from my dad.
Yeah. Oh, me too.
Yeah, he Yeah, I heard it from them. The people who like to tell you dumb Polish jokes, they like telling dumb jokes to begin with.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Street jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's funny is that Poland is home to some of the smartest mathematicians in the history of the planet. Like, like the average IQ in Poland is considerably higher than in America.
Yeah.
So it's like, where the fuck did that even start? It's not even a true stereotype, right?
I think I must have started when they were invading Poland and they were like attacking the tanks on their horses, just defending their home country, right? Look at these dumb Polacks.
Right. I think you might be right. That does ring a bell.
I had to learn that.
Oh, yeah. Like, how do I diffuse this? Yeah. How do I diffuse this nonsense? Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely understand that. Like, being an out and proud trans woman, I've had to become like almost a full-fledged biologist now. Just nope, that's not true. Nope, because oftentimes like the bad faith arguments I always hear are based off like a middle school understanding of human biology.
Right.
And it's like, dick man, woman pussy, and it doesn't go much farther beyond that. It's like, they're probably the same kind of people that think they pee out of their balls,
Yeah. That's where the pee's stored.
Right, that's where the pee's stored. Yeah.
One ball stores the pee, the other ball stores the cum.
Yeah.
Where do you keep yours?
Yeah.
Where you holding your pee now?
In a mason jar by the bed.
Howard Hughes style.
Yeah, right, next to the toenail clippings. Walk around with tissue boxes on my feet.
So don't cut them up.
Yeah. No, I wish I could grow Howard Hughes nails. Like, it'd be awesome. Like, I finally started going to the acrylics, which this fell off since we started recording. But I was like, oh, whoops.
Uh-oh.
And I was like trying to hide it. And now I'm calling attention to it for no fucking reason.
That's one of my little... I pick my nails a little bit too much.
Well, it was crazy. Like, I always had great nails, and then I've been on estrogen for years now, and I noticed that was one of the first things that started changing. Like, my nails just became super brittle and started just breaking and wouldn't grow and splitting and everything. And it's like, okay, so you mean to tell me that the thing that made me pretty as a guy goes away when I transition to a woman? It's like, oh yeah, that thing that just came easily, like, never putting on weight when you eat, bad shit, and, having great nails. It's like, oh yeah, estrogen takes all that away. So it's like, now I understand why, like, girls get so like, oh wow, look at your nails. And it's like, oh yeah, because
Yeah. It's so hard to do.
Yeah, right. To be born with a certain, I mean, some people just have shitty genes.
Yeah. I'm sorry for those people. I made it out all right, I think.
Yeah, a little bit of alcoholism.
A little bit of alcoholism, probably some, well, I don't know if the lazy, is that a gene or is that learned?
Nature and nurture on laziness.
Yeah, huh?
That's a good one.
I've been a procrastinator my whole goddamn life.
Well, me too. Like epic level procrastination.
Yeah, self-sabotage.
That. But I noticed though that for me, the reason I wait to the last minute is because I keep having this like panic alarm going off. I have plenty of time left, and but I keep thinking about it. Oh, I need to be working on this thing. I need to be doing this thing. I need to be working on this thing.
It's a mental state. That live in that state.
Right. But what I find is that when I finally get down to like grind something out, like college papers, for example, like every single time was like 5 hours of furious typing, oh, what, I only need 15 pages? No problem, and, but I don't know, I thrive under that kind of pressure. Like it helps me focus, when I'm like racing the clock.
I had a host a roast the other day,
Oh.
and it was for Chad's birthday.
Oh, where was that at?
It was at the Crow.
Oh, yeah, you were telling me about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And I all the weeks prior to it, I was like, yeah, I'll write something. Never did it. Then the day of, I'm like, fuck. Just got to joke about it everyone in the morning.
Oh, that reminds me of when you did Rodney Dangerfield, and before the show, you're just like still writing on note cards, and like you're just like just like having a mini meltdown like in the back alley. And
I should have been prepared for this.
Yeah, and then you get up there to do the bit, and it's like you forgot all your jokes, and you just did like 10 minutes of Rodney vamping, like hey, I tell you, you know,
hey.
no respect, yeah.
I'll tell you.
Is that why you guys carried on the Rodney impersonation and applied it to the Santa Claus character? It's just Santa Claus vamping as Rodney Dangerfield.
That's just how it came out. Yeah. We were trying to think of a voice that we could both do, and we're like, well, fuck it. And everything he says is funny, so let's just make him sound like that. We can both do him.
What's your favorite Rodney joke off the top of your head?
Oh man. Now that I'm on the spot, I'm looking at my. Oh shit! What was it? Oh man, no! Shit! Now I'm trying. I need to look at the paper. I have them all, but it was something about. Well, what's yours? You give me one.
Okay.
'Cause I know you got one that you're waiting to tell.
Yeah, so I was talking to this girl, and she said, hurry up, come over, there's nobody home. So I drive over, there's nobody home.
Yeah.
No respect.
Yeah, I like that one. I like the ones about his doctor. Hold on.
All right.
Never mind. I can't even do it now. Oh man, how embarrassing! What a fail! What a fail right here. I know, huh? I'm so ugly. How ugly? I'm like, never mind. What a fail! What a letdown!
Talk about ugly. When I was born, the doctor smacked my mother.
Yep, you got them all.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. Which I mean, I didn't consider him an influence of mine. But I remember when I first started, like you had said, your first open mic went really well. My first one was at Dead Crow. I was last of the night. I brought like 4 of my friends to come see me, and yeah, like I did really well. Got off stage. Lewis Bishop was hosting. He closes out the night, and beelines right to me. He was like, "Wow, that was great. How long you been at it?" I was like, "First time." And he's like, "No shit." And then it was like 2 months later, Brian Granger hits me up like, "Hey, do you want to do a showcase Lou's putting together?" I check with him, and according to him, Lewis said that I reminded him of a young Dangerfield. I was like, "Oh, hell yeah, I'll take it." Yeah, I never thought, like, I didn't approach comedy like trying to do quick one-liners, you know. But who would you say like some of your inspirations? Because I can't place your style anywhere. Like it doesn't remind me of anybody in particular.
So, all right. I remember watching with my dad the Sinbad special. Right? I remember laughing super and looking at my dad laughing his ass off. And I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I liked him. You know, all right. Then I had a big Dane Cook period.
Oof.
Yeah. But I was, right when I was in high school, and it was proximity. He's from the same area as me.
Oh, where's that?
Up in Massachusetts. Like he's from probably a few towns over.
Oh, okay.
But he started up in Boston. I never did it in Boston, which is really funny.
Yeah, well, I didn't do it in L.A.
Yeah.
when I was out there for 17 years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it took me moving down here because I'd never lived anywhere else, and then I wanted to explore like I was saying yes to everything.
Right.
Because I was like, I don't know anything about myself.
Like that Jim Carrey movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I said yes to an improv class, and then that's when some guy was like, start doing stand up too, and I was like, okay. Yeah. And so I liked a lot of Dane Cook stuff just because, you know, I'd put on the album with my friends in the car, like we'd fucking go word for word for it.
But how can you see him humping a bar stool if you're just listening to the audio?
It's
I mean, that's the punchline.
I liked a lot of Chappelle growing up too.
Oh yeah.
As a kid, yeah, I watched a lot of Carlin too. So.
Oh, yeah, that was my eye-opening moment. Like, yeah, I must have been like 8 or 9, and my family got cable for the first time, and Carlin was on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad was like a big Carlin and Pryor fan, and seeing that and just laughing and like thinking, wow, you could do that? Like just get up and talk and make people laugh like that. I want to do that.
Yeah.
But, you know, being like, you know, shut in, like just so socially awkward and like, you know, never imagined in a million years I'd be able to do it. But I've wanted to do it for over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason I could get up on stage and play music. I started doing that when I was 10, you know. I couldn't talk to people, but I could get on stage and play an instrument or sing and dance and shit. And like I just disassociate from the experience because they're over there and I'm over here. And, you know, and then, but after losing my shit in LA, like, you know, coming here, it's like, oh, I'm almost 40. I just might as well fucking do it.
Do it.
Like, yeah, what's the worst that can happen?
I think it's funny for me to think that I never did it up there, but I was kind of shy as a kid. I was being the youngest. Like I was always kind of in the background, just listening.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I wasn't shy amongst my friends, but I was always still kind of reserved, you know. But my parents knew something. They must have knew something. At least my mom, because she must have knew I was going to be creative or something, because she was like, she got me into theater.
Oh, nice.
Young, like I started doing like community theater and shit. And
fun.
I did a couple plays, but then I just dropped that. I was like, that's not so much for me. And then that's when I started playing music a little bit later, got into the band. But then when I moved down here, it was like I was able to just like step out of my shell, I guess, my comfort zone, and just step on stage as that. And now that's what I love about it, is because I'm still kind of a reserved person in real life, you know, but maybe.
I guess this is the first time I've seen you outside of comedy mode, so I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm still open and honest. I try to be, but.
Your face, this whole thing that's going on?
No, it doesn't say that.
No, I was just saying like that kind of honest. Like, whatever this is, it's not working for you. I'm just trying to be helpful. Like, I'm not the bad guy.
Yeah. But no, I like being able to step on stage and be the ego that has been always dying to get out.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. That's exactly how I feel about it too.
Yeah.
Because I like to kind of be this. Yeah, I mean, the stage persona is not all that different from off stage, but it's just kind of freeing.
Yeah,
you know,
because I get to be like the exaggerated version of myself.
Yes. How would you describe your exaggerated stuff? Like, how would you? What is it that you see in your stage persona then?
I guess it's a little bit more macho, maybe. You know, a little bit more that bravado, but then it helps after I do it. Like I step off stage and I'm still in that comedy setting. It allows me to be like that.
Right.
I think there's that'd be the most exaggerated thing about it. You know, that fucking swagger type thing that I try to have. You know.
Right.
I notice I gotta stop laughing at myself a little bit.
I don't know if I've noticed you do that too much.
No, it's not too bad. I only it's something I notice.
Because same when I look back at a recording and it's like, especially like if a joke doesn't land, it's not necessarily doing it sometimes it's a response to nobody else is laughing at it, but and I find that funny. because
Exactly. Yeah.
because
Like, oh,
especially
I just worked so hard for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, especially when you know that it's worked other places and it's just for some reason this room doesn't get what all these other people have gotten.
Yeah. Like,
It's
why
like,
didn't I didn't hit it tonight? You know, like,
this audience is fucking stupid. I love that though. Like when you get that like slow burn, you know, like if you, yeah, you drop a line and it's like, oh, now I get it.
yeah,
And
yeah. Let them sit in it. They'll figure it out.
yeah, I've gotten to where like sometimes I'll try and go out of my way to get those slow burns, you know, like yeah, make them work for it a little bit, you know, and it's so much more gratifying because you're like hanging there in the like silence for a comedian is terrifying, you know, and like it's almost yeah, like when you're hanging there with that silence intentionally, it almost feels like skydiving and you're not sure if the chute's going to open or not.
Yeah.
And you're just like, all right, okay, like they're going to get it. They're going to get
Yeah.
it. They're going to get it.
Yeah, that one. That's a weird because I like a little silence, you know, because then that helps build that tension that you get to break with the punchline. You know, I did Mike the other night. Like I like they were so like hanging on the words. I was because I had just a nice rhythm, and I could tell it's like, oh, you are all here right now. Like,
Yeah.
what are you gonna say next? You know,
Right.
that was and I like that side, but the silence that you're talking, that's exactly what it's like. Waiting for the chute to open. Are you
Yeah.
gonna get this joke right now?
Right.
That's an interesting one.
Wasn't it Andy Kaufman's guru that told him, humor isn't what you say, but what you don't say.
Yeah, I've been telling that.
And that's what inspired him to do the Mickey Mouse bit on SNL.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. You familiar?
Yeah, that's the one where he. Wait, no, I'm thinking of the one he plays the. He just plays the audio of
Yeah, the record. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's the one. And he just sits there uncomfortably listening to the song and typing and he just lip syncs to "Here I come to save the day," and then just back to yeah. And it killed. But yeah, like that's my buddy Laser in New York is talking about that being his new favorite thing to just not even necessarily in service of the punchline, just like take moments to pause and just like glare at the audience.
Yeah.
Like he's a dark comic, and so like he just likes like the uncomfortable silence and just basking in it, just daring himself to see how long he can hold it without himself panicking, right?
Yeah.
and yeah, he said like 9 times out of 10 the audience just starts laughing because they don't know what to do. They're just all like, okay,
Yep. And you hold it longer, then like some real laughs start coming out there.
yeah. Yeah, it's such a interesting phenomenon. Like it's one of those things, just one of those mysteries, you know, like science doesn't entirely understand why we laugh, and like the mechanisms and all of that, and it's one of those areas of study, and like, but you know, people like us can go around and just like command it on.
Yeah.
You know, I liked what Rogan, how he described it as it's a form of mass hypnosis is what's going on, right? And I found that useful in a number of ways, like one being repetition, right? Is a way to like entrain thoughts. Like if you watched or listened to how Trump speaks, you know, like he'll take a thing and then he'll repeat it, and he'll repeat the thing and repeat it, and then repeat the thing, and then boom, it's locked in there. It's, you know, hypnosis, or in that case, brainwashing.
Yeah.
But
that's called brainwashing.
yeah. But yeah, so, and that's why the setting is so important. That's why like your inflection is so important. You know, it's not just a matter of communicating the joke from point A to point B. Like there's all these little things in there that are there to like get the audience receptive and get them on your side, and
Yeah.
like, so you could just essentially say whatever the fuck you want to say after you got their trust up to a certain point,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think about it way too much.
Yeah.
I overthink them.
Yeah, no, that's the beauty of it, and that's the hunger that we talk about, right? Like, it's, if you're constantly thinking about it, you're always working on it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
Yeah.
I remember like, especially all the available information, like all these podcasts where people are talking about this stuff too,
Yeah.
and like the science of it now too. I remember I'm back onto the comedy podcast, but it's funny how what I like to do, like, is related to like what I'm listening to. And like, there was a minute where I was like listening to disc golf podcasts.
Right.
I went from comedy podcasts, and I was like, when I stopped doing it, I was like, I fell more in love with disc golf.
Right.
And then I was like, oh, I'm listening to check out a disc golf podcast now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, damn, okay, that's literally just what I like to surround myself with, all the information of what I like to do.
Right.
And I just like fill myself with that content.
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't burn you out eventually, or like oversaturation and
It burns my friends and family out that I'm talking about it a lot.
right.
No, it does a little bit. Yeah. Like I'll take weeks off,
Yeah. Yeah. I like, I've noticed this, like me, I love the talking shop. Like, I love talking the technicals and hearing about different people's processes but I've come across plenty of comics that don't want to, off the table, like,
Really?
boom. Yeah.
Like their own process, or?
Yeah, well, they don't want to talk about their process. They don't want to hear about your process. They don't want to, like the kind of comics, like, if you're like, hey, can I run a bit by you? No, shut up. No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm not going to name names, but, I never understood that reasoning, because
Yeah.
I've never been given a reason behind it. Or the attitude, like, 'cause it comes off as kind of abrasive, it's like, oh, well, we both are pursuing the same thing, it's like, do you not want to talk about it because you don't want to spill your trade secrets or some bullshit? Like,
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the set and setting for me. Like, if we're out at a show,
yeah,
like, I'd much prefer to just be riffing on
Yeah.
some jokes and
Oh,
teasing
yeah,
and
yeah.
roasting. But, maybe after settling down, I might dive into a little bit of it. But for the most part, yeah, it can get over. Like, I'm over it now.
yeah.
Yeah, I've had this conversation a lot. Yeah, I'd rather just have some fun,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get that. And, yeah, like, the longer I've been doing it, the less, like, pushy I am about, like, because I'm I've pretty much figured out, like, how I like to do it. But,
It's last minute.
no, actually, when it comes to comedy, no, not
Yeah.
so much. Like, I'm over prepared most of the time. But yeah, I'm just interested in the differences, like,
Yeah.
and I'm not, like, married to the way that I do things, I'm always open to, like, ideas, and, sometimes somebody has an insight that, might have not considered, and I'm like, oh, huh. For example, do you, like, how detailed do you write out your jokes before you, like, are you a verbatim guy, or
Like a whole set or a joke?
either?
Yeah. In the beginning process of it, I'll write the premise and the punch that I want to hit.
Right.
Word, like, verbatim.
Right.
If I'm taking it up in like notes that I want to, like, oh, what do I want to do tonight? Like, I'll just write a word that brings that joke to me, so I don't have to write out and have that written out. But I used to, like, the very, very first time I ever did it, that when I was preparing for that 5 minutes, I had it out word for word, like, where I was going to have a pause.
Right.
But that was a long time ago. Now it's like, now that I figured out that a little bit of my voice and my rhythm and what's working for me on stage. I don't have to worry about that. Plus, I've got all the improv experience where I'd much rather just kind of like be up there with half a plan,
Right.
You know, like
Right.
that's that's my process is like I have these ideas that I want to do. If there's something that changes, if it's warrants enough to follow that, I'll go follow that.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's not the best, but I know when a joke works a certain way, and then once it works, it like clicks in there. I'm like, okay, got that.
Sticks that
Yeah,
way.
that sticks right in there, and I'm like, okay, got it. I'll maybe try it a few different times, some other ways, but
Right.
for the most part, yeah, that's my goals up there is like be present. I don't even like taking the notebook up there now because I'm like I would much rather like almost like you're just saying is like challenge myself to be there, and like if the joke comes to me, like fucking say it,
Right.
but I don't want to be looking at it. I was like, it's in there. I have all that muscle built in there to
Right.
like to be looking at someone, make the joke, and I still have it. It's still coming there where I'm like, fuck, what was I gonna say?
Yeah.
and I got off. I'm like, damn, I missed that one thing that I was supposed to do. So it's like it's catch-22. Like it allows me to be up there building and growing that muscle, but I do miss some stuff sometimes.
Right. Do you still record your?
Not everyone.
Yeah.
I gotta get back on and hold my. I want to actually just start videotaping them because
That's what I've been doing since the beginning. Like, if possible, every single mic show, like I've just got a collection that, yeah, I mean, it's so valuable.
yeah, oh yeah. When I first started back, I was recording audio of everything.
Yeah.
And then I got more comfortable, and I think it's from the improv background of where it's like every show is its own special one. You'll never see it again, and it's hard to. Do you have a lighter? You got it. It's hard to like because it's like a nice mixture. Like they're two separate skill sets but they also can work together. And like improv shows, like the goal of the improv show is like we made it all up on the night.
Right.
You'll never see that show again. That was just for you. You
Right,
know?
right.
And so I take that a little bit into my stand up.
Well, that's kind of magical.
Right? Like I want it to be like as much as I know my jokes will work and I know they work a specific way, and it's caught me before where like I was doing a 20-minute set and I started out of order and I was like, oh shit. But then it made me work harder because now it made me like try to figure out how do I get back into this order, like as I'm still doing my set,
Right.
That's the shit I love about stand up is like the way your brain's doing two different functions.
Oh yeah.
Of watching, yourself and the audience and speaking like
Yeah.
so I like building that shit up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a surreal experience. It's not too dissimilar from disassociation in a way, like you're seeing yourself in a like I don't know, yeah, that's one of the things I've been considering doing the improv class just because yeah, like improvisation like for humor I've never been all that great with. Like, I mean, I could riff with people and bounce off with people, but in the moment while I'm, have my monologue, it's like I've always been like really scripted in what I say.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I've got like a freaky memory. Like my buddy Laser said, that's one of the things that gives you an advantage is that you just remember everything like that without having to. But I noticed that I'm kind of missing some flexibility too, because once I have like the rhythm and the tone and everything, I mean, there's in some ways like the way that I construct things, like the choice of words in itself like is really specific, like it's because it's got this texture to it, like it's it hits this certain way and it rolls off the tongue this way, and it's like, well, you could try other words there, but it's not as impactful, or maybe it is. Like, I don't know, like I'm just kind of stubborn to change it because it hits my brain the way that I like it, and
then sometimes you run it. You ever have this happen? You're like, I'm gonna try it this way tonight, and then you're in the middle of it, and you go into like, oh shit, I just told it the way I always do. I was just in my rhythm.
Yeah. So I'm trying to get more flexible and, because it's just, I'm sure it's like a, grass is always greener scenario, but, like I sometimes feel a little bit envious of the comics that could just go up with, a couple of loose ideas like, grocery store, DMV, or, and just like riff
Right.
like that. Cause
no, it's I can't riff so much like that. Like I can't, excuse me, I can go up with like I said, I'll have an idea, but I have an idea of what the punchline is. Like it's tough to just be like, all right, I'm going to riff about grocery stores now. No, but I'll have to have I'll have a situation or something that I'm going to tell, and I'm going to try and tell it in a funny way. I'll tell a funny, I'll have a story that I want to get off my chest or something like that, and I'll riff and deliver it in a punchline-y way. And or if my other style sets I'll have is like I said, I'll have my setup and I'll have my punchline that I know I want to work, and then I allow myself to riff on the tags after. That's a good way to start. Is like just think of some tags on the spot.
I have done that from time to time, but that tends to come from like a particular audience reaction to the punch, and that's where the living art form comes from, because like you're giving to the audience, but they're giving back to you too. Like I've had some audience members before, like I tell a punchline and they laugh, and somebody throws out a line that gets another laugh, and I'm like, I'm fucking keeping that. That was good. Right. I didn't even think about that. How long have we been going?
A long time.
Oh.
No, it's not that long. About an hour and a half maybe. No, I'm sorry. It's 5:30.
Holy shit. Okay, 2.5 hours. Wow.
Wow, bud.
Yay.
It's time for that heroin.
Yeah.
That needle, that shared needle.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No,
yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm out.
Oh.
We'll just keep talking forever.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. There we go. That's how I can get more like epic level podcast lengths. Like just threaten people with a dirty needle every time. Don't worry, I only have hepatitis C, Z. That's funny. Like when I found out that Brad and Amy were dating, I was talking to Amy about something else on Messenger. Oh yeah, I was asking if she was going to book Emo Phillips when he was in town, and I was like, if you do, can I be the guest spot, please? Like, and she didn't even know he was coming to town. But anyways. Not important for the story. I told her like, oh, and by the way, Brad gave me hepatitis, and immediately like I was like, oh shit, should I say that? Because for people that don't know, she's the booking manager. She's the general manager of the only comedy club in town, and so like you don't want to get on her bad side really. I
fucked your man.
Yeah, and. No, fortunately, she laughed and she said, "Oh, me too."
Yeah, she's good.
But cool. Well, awesome conversation.
Yeah. Was it? I didn't know what to expect here. I don't know if I delivered for you or not.
Oh, I didn't know what to expect either. We both going in blind. So, no, this is good. Do you have any comedy shows coming up?
Yeah, I do actually.
Where are you going to be at?
On the 4th of March, I'll be at the Iron Front. The
I've never heard of that spot.
That's the it's downtown. Let me pull it up here. Hold on a second. It is at the Lookout at the Iron Front. March 4th.
Oh, okay.
That is Actually, it's going to be me, Louis Bishop, and Lou Morganti.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
Nice.
we have been doing stand-up for a long time together. We once
Oh,
been on
yeah.
the road together.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like getting the old boys back together.
Oh, yeah, the Nut Street crew.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you can go online for those tickets at the Lookout, Iron Front. Looking that up there. March 10th is going to be the show we put on at the Hop Yard.
Oh, cool.
Yep, and that's
I did one of those. Yeah.
Yep, that's going to be with some great comics. We got Jack Nelson's going to be there.
Yeah.
I got my old buddy Steve Mealy is going to be on that show. So we got some good lineups. I got 2 shows in March already.
Hell yeah. I'm playing a music show on the 10th.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's a Thursday, right?
Yeah. Thursday afternoon at a festival.
Oh, fun. Oh, the big one you were telling me.
Yeah, Wham Bam. Yeah. And where can people sign up for your comedy course?
You go to daredevilimprov.com and you can sign up for improv classes, sketch writing classes. We have classes for adults and children. Like we have kids improv classes.
Nice.
I don't teach those. And
Adrian.
Adrian teaches them, and we have other instructors there as well. There's 4 levels of improv classes you can take.
Oh, wow.
And I do the stand-up class. And we have our Dead Crow Improv show every Wednesday. It's with Daredevil. We have 3 different troops that you can see.
Yeah, you guys actually sang my song suggestion about a dead hamster.
The Irish drinking song?
Yeah, it's up on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really cool show. That's every Wednesday at 8.
So your Daredevil school doesn't teach you how to jump over cars on a motorcycle.
That's level 5.
Okay, level 5 improv. Awesome. Wow. Great. Thanks for coming by, Steve.
Thanks, Steph.
This is fun.
Yeah. I'll see you next time, huh?
Oh, yeah. Probably Tuesday, I imagine.
Yeah.